look and hide it when you could have had the world. Take it easy, just take it slow. You'll get that rush again, but I already know that.
Laila, thank you so much for speaking with me. For folks who are listening to this whole interview on Rudy Blair Entertainment Media, RudyBlairMedia.com, it was supposed to be Laila and Nick, but because of technical problems on my end, we can only speak with you. So please say hello to Nick for me and apologize also because I don't know what happens. It's like since COVID-19 has kicked in, people have seen it, technical problems on Zoom, and it still happens when you do phone recording. So please apologize for me.
Yeah, no worries at all. It's crazy times. We're all just figuring out how to adapt.
Absolutely. How are you holding up throughout COVID-19 and all the changes that are going on? And what part of the country are you in right now?
Yeah, so we actually both live in Toronto together. Nick is just visiting his family in Kingston right now, which is why we're not in the same room. But yeah, we definitely, when we first heard about COVID and the lockdowns and everything, we were a little bit, discouraged just because we had some shows planned and we had really, imagined us, touring and doing lots of, live events this summer. But once we kind of got past that initial being thrown off by it, we decided to kind of make use of this time at home. And it's actually been kind of okay for us because we just started out in January, as you probably know, and we really needed the time to stay at home and write songs and get stuff done and get music out to the world. So in a strange way, it's been kind of good for us that we've been forced to stay at home.
Has writing music changed the way, have you changed the way you've written songs because of COVID, and looking at the world in a different light?
Yeah, a little bit. I would say the biggest change is really that we've been a lot more productive, but we have definitely not been our most inspired. I think that's just because of everything going on in the world, and things are really heavy right now. So it's been a little bit more difficult for us to write, I would say. But yeah, you definitely, I think for anyone writing or creating in this time, you have to definitely be more conscious of everything that's going on. It's so hard to ignore, especially because the arts community specifically has been suffering so much. Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, I got to ask because people are probably sitting there going, so how did these two meet? How did you two meet? And how did this duo come up? And I also have to ask, too, how the name came up also.
Yes. So the story of how we met is kind of a funny one because when we first started getting asked that, Nick and I kind of scrambled to explain it properly. But basically, I went to Queen's University a few years ago, and Nick is from Kingston and was playing shows in Kingston at that time. And I saw him play with a band that he was in at the time and kind of had my eye on him. We connected over social media, I think, and then kind of just were on each other's radars for a good 3 years, I would say, 3, almost 4 years maybe. And then at one point we started just commenting on each other's singing videos and connecting over music. And of course I was in Toronto at the time and he was in Kingston, so we were in different cities. And then I was going to be in Kingston for a wedding shower randomly, and I called him up and I was like, this is really weird because we've never hung out, but do you want to get together and make a singing video? And he said yes. And then we basically started dating right after that. Don't know if you knew we were dating, but we are. We're not very secretive about it.
Oh, no, figured that one out a long time ago. You can't write music. You can't write music and see the kind of performance that you guys have. And folks, when we talk about the single, you can see and go on YouTube to see the video of this, you can see that there is a definite romance connection to really even to bring that song up to what you guys have. So no surprise there.
Thank you. Yeah, so basically we were dating and we were singing together, and we would, show up to shows as separate kind of solo acts, kind of not knowing what we were. And people, at open mics and everywhere would just be like, are you guys a duo? You need to be a duo. And at first we were like, stop telling us this. We'll do what we want. Because obviously, as a couple, it's kind of a scary idea to think about being completely involved business-wise as well. But then we kind of just realized that was, I think, what was meant to happen. So after honestly a good few months of trying to figure it out, we decided to just bite the bullet and do it, and then kind of launched it in January.
Amazing.
And then
Now, the name of the group. Yeah.
So we get a lot of questions about that because I guess it's kind of an odd one. But basically, two of the songs we started singing together when we first met were Paris by the 1975 and Your Shirt by Chelsea Cutler, which is actually the first song we recorded and released together, a cover of that song. So we kind of smushed the two together and made Your Paris. And kind of like how, when people hear it, even if they don't really know what it means, they kind of imagine a certain thing in their head, like, Paris, romance, and all that.
Now, people don't just know Nick, forming in Kingston. They know him from somewhere else, too, if you don't mind mentioning.
Yeah. Nick was on CTV's The Launch, season 2. And
I was going to ask, what was that experience like for him?
I think he really liked it. I think having just left a band right before that, it was a really awesome experience just in terms of finding himself as a solo artist. He really loved it and made a lot of really awesome connections from that show that, people that we are still in touch with now. So, yeah.
I mean, it's a small family, but it's a great family. You can keep those people together, especially during this time, which is why we're so happy that you two decided to broaden your romance through music, because you guys have an amazing R&B song. What's the single called and what's it about?
So the single is called About Love, and it's a bit of a misleading title, which we like. We like that kind of stuff. I mean, it is about love, but it's mostly about betrayal and having someone that you really loved, betray you, and kind of thinking about that in not only a sad way, but like a really reminiscent way, and remembering, all the good memories. But then it's ultimately kind of like a call out to an ex-lover. Like, you wronged me, and thank you, but goodbye.
Don't talk about dreams in your head. One picket fence, there's tattoos we got when we were drunk out west. Throw out my key, forget my family and my friends. Shut your mouth when you talk about it. Don't make no sense when you talk about it.
Now, it's interesting that here you two together and writing a song like that. How did that sort of come about?
Yeah, I mean, one of the first things someone told us when they saw us sing together was that we make people want to fall in love even while we sing about heartbreak. And so I think that's something that really stuck with us. And I think people really connect to when other people are being really authentic and like showing their true selves. And when we got together, the first thing we said was like, we don't want to be like a cute like cutesy singing couple. We want to be like authentic and actually like use our relationship to make our music like deeper, not like easier, if that makes sense.
It does. And I was going to jump in and say, even though you have a song like that, you could actually bring people together taking that approach. I don't know if you thought about that.
Yeah, I think so, because I feel like what we keep realizing is every time even if it's like as simple as like an Instagram post where we like, we made one last week where I was like, today we did nothing and then ate a bag of Maltesers. And like people connect with that kind of stuff because it's like, it's actually real. And I think for Nick and I, like for our songwriting, we just want everything to be super honest. And that was, a story that he had kind of thought up before we met. And he had some of those lyrics before. And I think the good part about being in a duo is that we both bring a different perspective to like a similar situation. So yeah, it's weird that we're a couple, but we're singing about heartbreak, but it kind of just happened that way. So we're going to roll with it.
Is there an EP or an album going to follow this?
You know what? Right now we're still kind of like reveling in the discovery of our, like, figuring out our sound and like even our genre, like whatever that actually means. So we are just going to do singles, I think, for the next little while, just to get stuff out there and get a little bit of a catalog, and then we might start thinking about an EP.
What about virtual performances? Any of that coming up?
We just hopped on an app called Sessions, which is very new to us, kind of like Twitch, like a live streaming thing. So we might start being on there more regularly. And otherwise, just like we might do a few Instagram lives. nothing big planned though.
Okay, to see all that, social media is the place to go. Where do we go to follow you?
We are at We Are Your Paris on every platform.
Amazing. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. Thank you so much for putting out great music. Looking forward to seeing everything that you guys are doing because, like you said, this is a crazy world. And the fact that you guys were able to put out a great song like this during a crazy time like this, I cannot wait to see what you guys are going to do further on into 2020 and 2021. Say hello to Nick for me, please. Be safe. Thank you again. And hopefully the next time we do another interview, it'll be in person.
Of course, yes. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you over the phone, and thank you for having us.
Take care and be safe. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.